All right, high rollers, came across this guy on Twitter, a darts fanatic and broadcaster, commentator for Live Darts Iceland. Yes, they love the darts in Iceland. They've got a Premier League, live streaming Nordic and Baltic events all the time, and coming to Iceland this October for the first time ever, the PDC Nordic Baltic Tour. The game is growing, folks. Robbie Dove is our guest today, at Robbie Darts on Twitter. Robbie, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Darts in Iceland. I saw you guys on Twitter, at Live Dart Iceland. It's Live Darts Iceland on both Facebook and YouTube. At first I thought, why Iceland? But then I thought, why not Iceland? I mean, you guys have been rocking the sports scene lately, especially football. It seems like a good time to be an Icelandic sports fan, doesn't it?
Absolutely. By football, we of course mean soccer.
Yeah.
outside of North America, football everywhere else. But yeah, beating England in the Euros, much to my dismay. Qualified for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Great sports generally. Obviously, handball they love and they're very good at. But darts as well is doing amazingly on the international stage. Take a look at Brazil. Diogo Portela features in the World Cup. As you've already said, you know, the PDC Baltic and Nordic Tour will be visiting Iceland. Switzerland have a team. USA, they've started darts in Vegas, the PDC. Why not? It's a brilliant, booming international sensation, and I think Iceland has so much to offer. They've got a population of about 330,000, nearly 1,000 players. Pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, that's not too bad. Hey, let's not forget Canada. Dawson Marshall just got his PDC Tour card. I mean, darts is growing all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah. Dawson Marshall, as you say, tour card. I'm sure he's got a lot to offer in the next few years. Canadians, they play in the Vegas tournament that I was talking about as well. John Part, if you have a look at him, he's a blast from the past. Well, not necessarily, he's still going strong as it was shown in the UK Open. So yes, it really is all over the place. And I think South America was the last continent to really kick on and get an actual darts star in Diogo Portela. We've had Norman Madhu playing for Guyana, but that was a long time ago and never really sort of came to fruition. Diogo Portela yet to win his tour cards, but he's now done South America really proud. That's all of the continents covered, except for Antarctica.
Hey, let's talk about your Facebook page, because I was on there today, Live Darts Iceland. It says, we started live streaming Icelandic darts in May 2017. Our mission is to increase the reach of this wonderful sport and put Iceland on the map in world darts. Now, you mentioned John Part there, a Canadian world champ. Is that the end goal, an Icelandic world champ, do you think?
In Iceland, the end goal is everything success. So when I first started with them, I said, it would be great if you guys made the PDC World Cup. And they said, well, that's the plan. That's what we want to do. So they want to get their name out there. They want to show that Iceland is a darting nation. And you know what? I think it's worked, because I don't think if it was for this, we necessarily would have had the Nordic and Baltic Tour visiting Iceland. There's youngsters, there's an under-21 championship. One of the players, Peter Goodmanson, he has a son, he's I think 13 years old. He played on our stream the other week. Go take a look on the Facebook page. This guy, I think, there's every possibility of getting fame and success from darting prowess. So, Icelandic world champ, I absolutely see no reason why not, and I would love it. It would be the best day ever for me.
Wait a minute, that kid in the blue shirt on your Facebook page I was watching today is only 13?
Yeah, 13 years old. I mean, he may have recently celebrated his 14th birthday, but he's not very old, put it that way.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I love your Facebook page, streaming live darts. Tell us about Live Darts Iceland. I mean, some of the broadcasts are in English, others are in Icelandic, correct?
That's absolutely correct. So we'll start from the beginning. You said May 2017. For Icelandic darts players, you need to practice. You need to practice at the bigger, higher level if you do want to play in your PDC tournaments. So 4 of the best players in the world of Icelandic darts came together in one of their garages, Matti Fredriksson. Matti, by the way, a football player for the Icelandic Premier League. These 4 players have full-time jobs, but they dedicate a lot of their life to darts. They follow all the tournaments. They play in some of the BDO tournaments. They play in the Nordic and Baltic Tour. So, they love the darts. They come together in one of the guys' garages. They stream it. Matty does a fantastic job. He's actually been asked to stream a tournament in Canada, I believe. Not too sure about the details, but watch this space. He only uses a couple of cameras, some software on his laptop, and some graphics, and then he'll stream it and do a very, very good job, because people love to watch the darts. 4 of them will play. They'll play 4 games, 2 semi-finals, a losers final, and the winners final. And the prize is, well, bragging rights and success. That used to be every single Thursday without fail. A few things have happened, so it's not so common these days on the Thursdays. That was done by myself and my good friend Christopher. He's Swedish, but he does it in English as well. But recently, there's been so much success and so much, it's been talked about an awful lot, this Icelandic darts, but amongst the Icelandic community. But they decided, why not make an Icelandic Premier League and stream it on the Icelandic national sports channel, Sport TV Iceland. So, meeting after meeting, it's been in talks for a while. It's very much on. It's actually happening every single Wednesday. So it's worth checking out. It is in Icelandic, as you did mention, the commentary. There are possible talks of maybe doing a dual commentary in English. That might work at some point. I'd be more than happy to get involved with that. That might be a bit of fun as well. But that features 8 of the best Icelandic darts players, including, wait for it, Gylfi Sigurdsson, who's a footballer, Premier League footballer, his father.
No way.
His father. Absolutely, yeah. Popular guy in the UK, Gylfi. And he actually put it on Snapchat the other day saying, hey, I'm watching my old man playing darts in Iceland. So that's quite something as well. And that's a standard Premier League. 8 people, they play in Reykjavik every week. And the winner of the league will, win their bit of success as well. But yes, darts certainly is something that's happening massively in Iceland. It's doing very, very well. And actually, an amazing story. I went over to Iceland. I was lucky enough to visit. I've been twice, actually. The last time I went was September 2017. And I went into a darts bar and I was chatting to some people, and it was like I was a celebrity. Not trying to blow my own trumpet by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't go that far. But people were saying, oh my God, you're the guy that does the commentary. I'm like, yeah, it's only a bit of fun. So, that was really quite spectacular. But it just shows how many people actually watch this stream and how big it is. But it's not just in Iceland. It's all over the world. We have regular Costa Ricans, regular Canadians, regular South Africans. At one stage, we had 151,000 people watching the stream. Not all live, I need to add. Some of them watch it retrospectively. But, it's popular. People love their darts. And even you, Derek, at a high roller radio, you tell me that the darts videos are the ones that people love. Is that right?
That's right. I started to slowly transition into darts away from poker and gambling because I was putting all this effort in. I still love poker and gambling, and I still do those videos, but the darts videos have gained attraction, and I really do enjoy the game. You talk about organic growth. I mean, from the garage to the live stream, you walk into a bar, you're a celebrity. I mean, this is amazing, and this is what's needed in the game, right? Because look at what happened in England and all over the world with the PDC Premier League. You need this TV time. You need this competition so that the players can get better and used to the scene, right? They need that time in front of the camera. So this is helping, and this is only going to improve the game there.
Absolutely. Then that's on 2 counts. First of all, personal development. You need to see I believe you need to see your game regularly to improve. I don't mean that every single time you throw a dart in the pub you have to record it and take your stats. No, but I mean, generally speaking, when you're playing competitive darts, if you can see what you're doing and see where you're going wrong and see your average and see your stats, it gives you the motivation and the oomph to get better and to know what you're doing, to know what you're doing wrong and to know what you're doing right to carry on. You might have a look and see your styles completely changed. You don't know. A couple of the guys have changed their styles, standing square on to side on, for instance. So that's a benefit of the stream. But also, you're absolutely right. In order for darts to actually grow as a sport, take a look at Germany. Take a look at the Premier League in Berlin. Had the highest darts crowd ever in PDC history. And that's, many, many years after starting darts on the big platforms and the PDC on mainstream television. So, yeah, absolutely. That's the way you do it. And the internet it's grown so much. And that is the way forward, I believe, in getting content streamed out there. I mean, take a look at YouTube. People watch stuff on YouTube all the time. I do believe it's a viable option to stream things online now. It doesn't cost anything or next to nothing. And people will start to see it. And that's, as I said earlier, I think that's one of the factors that the PDC have decided, right, you know what, let's give Iceland a go. 1,000 players, thank you very much. But all these views, many, many more views from all over the world, yes, streaming it's definitely the way forward. It's a fantastic thing. It's how I started with the Icelandic darts, just watching it, and all of a sudden I thought, let me get involved, and well, look what's happened.
Yeah, right. 1,000 players now, maybe 5,000 very soon.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't see any reason why not. I mean, at the end of the day, who's not thrown a dart? I'm sure. And the best phrase I've ever heard, one of the best phrases. One of them is about you can take the darts out of pub, but you can't take pub out of darts. One of the better quotes that I like is this: darts is an exceptionally easy sport to play, but oh boy, it's extremely difficult to play well.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, they make it look so easy nowadays. You're in England. How did you get hooked up with Live Darts Iceland? I think this is a pretty good story. I know the story, but tell us about this left-handed double 10.
Yeah, that's how I got hooked. The left-handed double 10. I came across it on Facebook. They're doing a great job of doing the streaming. But there was one video that sort of took me and it tickled me. I think that's the first video I ever came across. It was obviously shared and it reached my timeline. I'm a member of some different Facebook groups, related to darts. And I saw a player called Hallie Palson. He threw 3 darts. He threw 2 darts at double 10. He had 20 remaining, and he blocked them both. He darted himself. So invariably, you'll move over, to the extreme left or the extreme right to find a clear path to the double 10. Then you'll try and power in the double 10, and about 8 times out of 10, you'll fail. Well, this guy, instead he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw. He's a right-handed player. I'm going to throw this 3rd dart with my left hand. So that 8 times out of 10, you'd think it would become 1 times out of 10 or even 0 times out of 10 to actually find that accuracy. But anyway, it obviously worked for him. It was a perfect angle, it would seem. And he thought, if I can just perfect this with my left hand, this dart's going in. Next dart, bang, straight in. What I will do is I will put a link to that on Twitter at Robbie Darts, and I'll pin it. I've never pinned anything before, but I'll pin that video. So if anyone wants to check that video out, then feel free. And it will also link to our Facebook page as well, so you can have a look at all the fun and shenanigans that are going on there. But yeah, left-handed double 10, I thought, oh my God. I mean, it's not the most spectacular or dramatic of videos by any stretch of the imagination. And if you weren't paying too much attention, you wouldn't even notice that he switched to his left hand. But a left-handed double 10 for a right-hander, that's quite something.
Oh, I had to check out the video right away when you sent the link over, and it was so nonchalant. If I make that move, 2 shots right-handed, switch to left-hand, nail the double 10, I'm pulling a Gerwin Price, big yell. I mean, I'm getting down on my knees doing the soccer goal celebration. I mean, that was quite a feat.
Yeah, you're doing a Rob Cross, quite literally. Well, 1 month, you can throw a left-handed dump. I mean, there's videos online of the darts players, like a Unibet challenge. I think it's Unibet. I apologise if that's the wrong sponsor. But, challenge, this is from a few years back where, they do all sorts of challenges. So distraction darts, the blind bullseye, and one of them is throwing darts left-handed. I remember Dave Chisnell did quite well. But these players get 7, 8, 22 when they're throwing left-handed, let alone 1 dart and a 100% success rate. Well, except for Wade. Wade had to throw right-handed.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. Now, you mentioned the pool of players in Iceland. It's not that large. I'm sure it's going to grow with the PDC coming to town. But where is the standard of play? I mean, for such a small pool of players, I was watching those videos. It's pretty good.
It is good, absolutely. It's certainly not yet at the PDC professional level, but I would say if these guys were averaging 70, 80, they're doing exceptionally. I always say when it's in the practice tournaments and there's not much at stake, if they're averaging over 60, they ain't doing badly, put it that way. I put it like that usually, It's not. If you did see that sort of level in the greater field, in the in the professional circuit, you might think, okay, that's not as good as you get. But the truth is, you've got to start somewhere. Starting your own streaming is exceptionally difficult, and I think if you're going to be averaging 70 or 80 on that stream, then that really is something to write home about. It's certainly something for proud. It's also a good stepping stone as well to get in the better, in with the better standards. But as I say, you're only going to get better and better, and especially if you're going to be playing in the bigger tournaments and with the slightly bigger, with the bigger people, with the PDC Nordic and Baltic tour that Kim Viljanen seemed to dominate over the last year. If you're going to be playing with those better players, then of course, success breeds success, don't you think?
Absolutely. You got to play against the best to be the best. Now, what about the Premier League? Can you tell us about this? Who are some of the players to watch out for? Is it competitive?
It is very competitive. I mean, the fact of the matter is that Vitor Charrua, he's the man with the moustache. I'm sure we're going to get onto that.
Well, wait a minute. He's got the greatest mustache in darts, apparently, doesn't he?
I'd say so. Yeah, he's always had a moustache, but he's really styled it out of late. Check the Facebook page. Just one of the latest videos, probably one of the Premier League videos, to check his moustache out. I rank his moustache the best in darts. Second, I put Warren Parry. He's a New Zealander. Very thick moustache. And then third and fourth, we go to young Ronnie Baxter and young Steve Beaton, because that was the style of those days, and they're very different now. But yeah, absolutely. Vitor Charrua, amazing moustache. Now, Vitor is a fantastic darts player. He's he knows what he's doing. He gets his big shots. He gets his big checkouts. But he is only in inverted commas, 4th in the Premier League. One I'd say you should properly watch out for. Got to be. Well, here we go with the pronunciations. You're worried about the pronunciations, but now it's my turn because I'm allegedly the expert. Sigurður Athelssteinsson. There we go. All the Icelandic players, their last name, except for Vitor, and a few like Einemora as well, end in son because that means son, father. It was their son.
Interesting.
So, yes.
Okay, I'm glad I'm leaving the names to you, but it's fascinating.
It is, yeah. So, for example, we've got Peter Gudmundsson. So his father's obviously called Gudmund, and he's got a son called Alex Peterson. It's son of. And if you're a female, it's Dottir. There are also a few female playing Icelanders as well. But yeah, absolutely. So, the big names. Vitor, he's one to watch for the Premier League. I'm sure he will do a little bit of damage as well. Peter Gudmundsson, his nickname is the Father because he's training to be a priest, and he's a left-handed darts player as well. He's certainly one to watch. He knows what he's doing as well. Halli Ailson, he's not had the best start to the Premier League, 7th out of 8 at the moment, but Halli's won our little tournament many times. He's decent player. He doesn't get phased very easily, so he knows what he's doing as well. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, really. One of the best characters in the whole of Icelandic darts, Einar Moller. Check it out. Einar, last name Moller. He's a real character, and if you ever get a chance to have a chat with him, ask him to do his Russ Bray 180 call. The really throaty referee. He does it to absolute perfection. And Sigurður is the father of Gylfi Sigurdsson. So yeah, all of them are darts players. Are fantastic. They've all got their own. They all know what they're doing. They've all got their own style. They've all got their own shine as well. So it's going to be a pretty competitive. I mean, after the first couple of weeks, there's only 2 points in it. Obviously, naturally, it's 1 point for a win, unlike the PDC Premier League, which is 2 points for a win. And I don't believe there is any draws as well. I believe it's a win or a loss. So it can be a harsh reality. So checking out and getting that finish is obviously very, very important. But yes, competitive. All 8 players know what they're doing. All 8 players should be proud of themselves. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if I had to put money on it, if I was a gambling man, because we do like gambling on High Roller Radio, I would go Vitor for the win. But that's only because I've seen him week in, week out, and he's very, very consistent.
So in 4th right now, you're predicting the comeback to take it all. It's carried on Sport TV, right? That's a great affiliation.
Absolutely, yes, and it's we've got a few sponsors. I believe there's a milkshake place that have got involved. Yeah, that's what we wanted, and that's effectively what we've got. Meeting after meeting we've had. We've seen Will it work, and got to do a big shout out to Mattias Fredriksson. He's called the Eagle because he's Mattias Orn Fredriksson, and Orn is Eagle in Icelandic. But for his streams, there's none of it. We wouldn't even be having this conversation, I don't think. I mean, we'd still have the talent and the quality in Iceland, but the fact that we now get to see this, so regularly in the Icelandic, well, all over the world, it means things like this have happened, and things like this are able to happen. So yes, they got in touch with that's what they really wanted, Icelandic national darts on TV, and that's exactly what they've got, which I think is an amazing achievement.
And if you're getting recognized, I'm sure these guys are getting some fame as well. That's got to be nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel a little bit bad that I've blown my own trumpet in that, I was a celebrity. I wouldn't go that far. It was a room of about 50 people who came up to me and said, oh my God, I know you. So I thought, it felt like I was famous. I'm well aware that I'm not, and the limelight certainly does deserve to be with these guys. But I'm sure, yeah, if you're flicking through the TV, you see the darts, do you turn it off or do you keep it on? Of course you keep it on, even if it's for 5 minutes to see what's going on. I mean, Einar Moller, I'm sure many people have seen him and stopped in for a chat because he's a real character. He's a great talker. His nickname is the Joker. That becomes obvious, the reason why, when you have a chat with him. And he drew me a picture of a Joker. I believe he works for Target Darts. He's a great guy as well. So I'm sure, yeah, as you say, many of these guys get stopped for a chat about darts in the street, definitely.
Now, what about youth darts there? That's always important for the up-and-comers to get some play as well. You got the under-18, or is it the under-21 championship?
I believe there's an under-21 championship, which has been streamed. If you go on Live Darts Iceland, click on videos, and you scroll all the way down, you'll see the youth championship. But yeah, there's a lot of some of the younger players. One of the ones that springs to mind, as I said earlier, Alex Peterson, is Peter Gudmundsson's son. Great darts player, and I think Peter wants to play in the Olympics with him at some point in doubles. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
That's maybe another discussion for another video, really, the Olympic debate. But yeah, if the darts players' fathers are playing, and mothers actually are playing, and it's ingrained within their family, we see it so often, then why not have the darts for the youth? And yeah, there are a couple of the youth players that are, getting all right. They seem to know what they're doing. And in Scandinavia, I believe youth darts is pretty good as well. But generally speaking, we've now seen, in the world of darts, the best youth we've ever seen, ever, quite frankly. Take a look at Justin Van der Houw. He won his youth tournament at the BGO. That was really quite something. And the gentleman he played up against, I can't remember his name, the Irish fella. If you can remember his name, do pop a comment on. But, he played a blinder as well. So, yeah, youth darts at the moment in general is, the best we've ever seen, and there's no real exception in the country of Iceland as well. It may only be small, but sure it is mighty.
Yeah, I watched that BDO youth final, and that was pretty impressive. Those guys are just right on the mark. I mean, 140s as if it were nothing, right? It's not an easy sport, is it? All right, now, on your Twitter, at Robbie Darts, you recently tweeted out the rankings on Rob Cross and the progression he made in such a short time. I mean, that really is an incredible story, isn't it, Rob Cross?
It certainly is, and I like to retweet and I like to favourite. Some of the different things. I'm a stats-based sort of guy, and that's what interests me. So I recently liked what are the most common scores with 3 darts on the PDC circuit. Do you want to have a guess, Derek? What's the most common scores with 3 darts?
I'm going to say 100.
Yeah, spot on. It's not like you saw my tweet, was it? No. The Rob Cross story was absolutely sensational, and I thought it was impossible. Nothing to do with Rob at all. No disrespect for that guy. He's done great. I thought what he's done was impossible. The fact that when you're playing darts, you have to have a bit of practice. You have to get a bit of experience. He's got experience. He knows what he's playing. He's been playing darts for many years. But big stage, major experience, his experience was limited, and you can't deny that at all. So what he's done, that just proves how amazing it is, because usually I find that if you have a great tournament, you might make the semis or you might make the finals, the sort of thing that Vandenberg and Jamie Lewis did. So they're now well within their practice remit. They might give it another go, and they might do the same next year, and after a few years, then they might, absolutely, bang, get it sorted. Play well for a number of years. Rob Cross did all that playing well in 1 year. And yet, from unranked to world champion, world number 3, I believe, at the moment. What a story. And that is you don't get that often at all. That's so rare in any sport. I mean, let alone in darts. I believe Rafael Nadal, he's barely lost the French Open, lost a few in the recent years, but he was obviously unseeded, and all of a sudden he played in his first one, and bang, he won the major championship. So I'm wondering, will we now see a lot more of the Rob Cross story? Will we? The tweet you're referring to, in January of last year, he wasn't seeded, and then he moved up from 107, 73, 40, 30, and then he won the title, and 21st in December, and then he won the title, and the rest is history. So I'm now wondering if this will inspire people to think, actually, I am a very good darts player, because there's so many good darts players all over the place, in Iceland as well as the rest of the world. So I am wondering, is anyone going to give it a go? And this proves that the Challenge Tour, because that's what Rob Cross won that's what he automatically qualified from to get his tour card, is brilliant. It's an absolutely brilliant ploy, and the fact that there's only 2 cards available means it's even more competitive. So yeah, I'm wondering, will this inspire anyone? Will anyone actually think, okay, let's give this a go?
Well, with the amount of money involved in the game now, a lot of people are giving it a go, and a serious go, putting in the practice time, because they realize that anything is possible. A Rob Cross can happen, and that match in the semifinals against MVG, if anybody's asking you what is darts, just point them to that match. I mean, that was amazing.
Unreal. My job means I can't always watch the darts live. I do my very best, but sometimes I've got to catch up. And I had about 3 or 4 episodes to catch up over an evening. So what I did was I laid in my bed and I sat there fixated at the screen watching. And then it came to the semi-final. My dad had heard about it. I don't think he'd watched it. And he said, Robbie, that's the one you need to watch. He said, you can watch the rest of it, but that is great. And he likes darts. We both like darts because the other likes darts, obviously. And the fact that I'm a nut means he kind of has to be as well. But yeah, that if you haven't seen it and you're sort of experiencing this for the first time, or if you're not a darts fan, just go to YouTube, type in Michael Van Gogh and Rob Cross semi-final. Unbelievable. It's just thinking about it is giving my heart palpitations, I'm telling you. Michael Van Gogh, in a really brief plotted history, best player in the world, one of the best players ever to have thrown a dart, never misses anything, and he missed numerous darts to take Rob Cross out, and the rest is history. I actually it was late at night, I had to burst into my parents' bedroom and say, sorry guys, I've just watched that darts match. Oh my God. Oh my God, my mum thought there was something medically wrong with me. I'm like, no, there's no problem there. But yeah, my dad said, yeah, was it good? I was like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it.
I was just astonished. I mean, every first start was right in the treble 20, 140s, 180s, back and forth, under pressure. I mean, that truly was one of the best darts matches of all times. Listen, this has been very informative. Darts in Iceland, an Icelandic world champion one day. Why not, man? Why not? Be sure to check out @Live Dart Iceland on Twitter, Live Darts Iceland on Facebook and YouTube. Darts is getting big everywhere, folks. Robbie Dove loves the darts like me. Robbie, thanks so much, man. Appreciate your time today.
Absolute pleasure, man. Good luck with everything.